In today's video I want to talk about my experience of taking Finasteride for almost 12 years now. And my name is Alex and I've been having hair loss issues since I was 18 years old. I started to take Finasteride when I was 24 and I started to take it back in 2008. So it's almost 12 years now with taking Finasteride. And right from the beginning I started to take it. I started to take like a microdose of it. Right? I didn't take a full amount that is recommended, 1 mg. I started to take a much lower amount, half of it. And nowadays there are even done studies that shows that amounts as low as 0.25 are effective to help this hair loss issue. But for me, 0.5 has been great. It has been working very well. I was able to stop my hair loss. I was able to get regrowth, and I have also been able to kind of being consistent with it, right? So I haven't increased amount over time. It has like been effective all the time, right? So basically my point here is that Finasteride doesn't lose effectiveness over time. There are like some guys who are kind of scared that maybe Finasteride will stop working at one day. It doesn't happen because when you block DHT with Finasteride, you basically have done the deal, right? So it won't lose effectiveness over time, and I'm a perfect example of it. And if you want to check my previous pictures, how my hair were before I started to take Finasteride back in 2008, 2007, you can do that below this video. I have added the pictures there, and you can see how basically how bad my situation was, but I was still able to recover from it, right? I started to lose my hair when I was 18, so I didn't take Finasteride before I was around 24, so it was like 6 years with hair loss. So it do work. It is possible to reverse it, but you also need to be sure that you actually are kind of aware that Finasteride can have side effects, right? So you need to check it up first before you actually start to take it, right? And I have done some videos in the past about side effects and how to address them. So if you are scared about it, definitely check other videos I have made. And I also can mention that when I started to take Finasteride, I was quite overweighted. My body weight at that time was 250 pounds, right? I was it's like 120 kilos in European units, and it's quite a lot, right? And I guess a lot of guys would assume that if I had this kind of body weight, I should have taken more of Finasteride. But for me, microdosing has been working like magic, right? Just right from the beginning. And like from time to time, what I have been doing over years is that I do take a break from Finasteride. I have found out that if I take a break around 2 weeks, it kind of rebounds it, right? 2-week breaks from time to time is quite nice to take to rebound and restart effectiveness of Finasteride. But if I take more than 2 weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, then I see that my hair starts to shed more, right? So for me, optimal amount is around 2 weeks, rather. So this is kind of my experience with it. And like I get often question where to buy Finasteride, and I will say I always recommend to get it from doctor, right? Because when you get it from doctor, you actually can consult with him, and if there is kind of risk of any side effects or questions about side effects, then you can also address those issues with the doctor, right? If you buy it online, you don't know if you get the right stuff, and then you kind of are ending up doubting if you have actually real Finasteride, because there are initiatives to actually make fake Finasteride, because one can produce it in and sell it online, right? So you should definitely always get it from the doctor, so you are sure that you are actually getting right stuff, right? And I have been taking Propecia for most of the time. Currently I'm taking Proscar, but it's basically the same pill, right? So it's just Proscar pills are a bit bigger. They are 5 mg, so you need to cut them into smaller pieces, but Propecia is more convenient and much easier to kind of microdose. To make sure that Finasteride do have a long-term effectiveness and you don't have lots of ups and downs that suddenly Finasteride stop working, you need to make sure that you are actually doing something to solve any underlying issues that can cause hair loss, right? And basically I have been talking about this in my previous videos, that there are several things that needs to be addressed to actually be able to regrow hair and keep them long term, right? Because if you have something that can mess up effectiveness of Finasteride, what will happen is that Finasteride won't be as effective anymore, because underlying issues, like you start with Finasteride, things are improving, everything is great, your hair loss is starting to decrease and you're getting some regrowth, but then over the time underlying issues will catch up, right? So they need to always be addressed so you keep finasteride effective over the long time, right? Because it is not enough just to block DHT, because there are other issues like you need to know how to handle stress, how to address that, how to kind of optimize your diet, nutrition, so it is perfectly optimized to have a perfect hair regrowth and strong hair. And you also need to be sure that you don't have any scalp problems and that can cause issues and block regrowth potential. You also need to make sure that you are addressing allergic problems, because you can get allergics from the foods, from diet, from products you apply, and so on, right? So there are several things that can mess things up, right? And that can over time make it actually finasteride lose effectiveness, and it's not enough just to block DHT. So those things need to be addressed, and I have been able to address them, all of them, successfully, and this is basically a reward, right? Reward is that I have been able to keep my hair for so many years, right? But if I didn't have do that, then I would most likely have good results for a few years, and then they kind of started to decline, right? But my point is that as long as you are doing things to address any underlying issues that can cause hair loss, you are able to regrow hair and keep them long term. So, and for you guys who actually need help with it and want to have a structure and plan and know how to optimize all the factors that can cause hair loss and want to have a basically proven system to get results, schedule a call below the video. Let's talk. Let's see how I can help you with my rapid regrowth program and actually get your results you're looking for, right? Because if you don't address any underlying issues that can cause problems, you are risking basically that you will get nice results by taking finasteride for some time, and then those results kind of decline over time. And this is not a situation you want to be in, right? Because you want to get results and keep those results, right? You don't want to worry anymore about hair. You want to be in control and keep your hair long term, right? And it is possible, right? I'm a perfect example of it. And as I mentioned earlier on this video, is that you can check my previous pictures, how my hair or how bad my situation was back in 2008, 2007, 2006. You can see that I still was able to recover from that point of no return, right? So it is possible, but it's all about understanding and seeing it from a big picture, at the same time implementing right strategies and taking right action. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next video. Cheers.